who got away at the end, the only one who survived with me and the Three Stooges. And we drive off in that massive truck. But she's blinded because I put her eyes out with a letter opener. And I said, well, so you've got this weird relationship now between Maynard and Lita, so why don't you carry it into the next movie? And I instanced the relationship between Lecter and Clarice at the end of Hannibal, which I hated, by the way. The way that it's Thomas Harris's fault. It's not. This is Clarice Starling. You don't fucking do this to Clarice Starling. But I said, so why don't you get that kind of puppet master thing going? And here's your title, The Blind Assassin. She's doing the killing, but I'm pulling the strings. And I never heard from them. And then somebody said to me, you know they made a Wrong Turn 6? Oh, okay.
Good job. It kind of scared me a little bit.
Good. Good. Pleased to hear it.
Another question for Mr. Bradley. Right there.
I'm Tiffany. I'm from Detroit.
Is this the thing? You will tell me where you're from?
I told me to tell you.
Oh, yeah. we get people from all over.
I feel like I'm in an old-fashioned operating theatre, by the way.
Yeah, it's like a college lecture hall.
Yes.
I was wondering if the Duffer Brothers talked to you. Or
The who?
The Duffer Brothers. Or if you knew that they had the actors reading for Vecna and Stranger Things do a Pinhead monologue for their auditions.
I didn't know that. I did know, you forgive me, I've lost the name of the actor in the final.
Jamie Bell.
What a performance. What a performance. Wow. And I saw an interview in which he said that, and I messaged him and said, "You're fucking kidding me." Brilliant. I told him how good I thought he was, because I really, really, really did. It did cross my mind watching it. I wonder if having a look at Hellraiser, and then, yeah, he said he had done that. I did not know.
They had to read for that and Primal Fear as like the two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know which bit of Pinhead? That's weird. It's like, it's called doing your Shakespeare, isn't it?
The hospital monologue, so I got a little.
We are Cenobites, explorers in the
It was
further
either that
regions.
or You Suffer So Beautifully.
Oh, I wouldn't remember that one myself. Yes, You Suffer So. The other one would be what I call the theatre of death in Hellraiser 3, when Joey comes back to the nightclub and I've arranged the audience of corpses and then appear around the pillar. Oh, it's unbearable, isn't it? The agony of strangers, the suffering of friends, is that right? Or have I got that the wrong way around? There is a sound at the centre of the world, Joey, and there is a song at the centre of the world, Joey, and its sound is like razors through flesh. Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you, Mr. Atkins.
Poetry. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Angel. I'm from Sterling Heights.
From where?
Sterling Heights.
You realise that means nothing to me. Okay. Is this local?
Yes.
About an hour from here.
Okay.
So would you say that Hellraiser, specifically the first one, is pretty much the grandfather or pioneer of the elevated horror subgenre?
Of the what?
Elevated horror subgenre.
Well, here I confess my ignorance, because I have no idea what the elevated horror subgenre is.
It relies more on more artsy than just straight up quote unquote tits and blood.
Can you give me some examples?
Babadook.
Okay.
That's the only one I'd like to know.
Midsommar.
Midsommar. Hereditary, maybe a little bit. Yeah, Hereditary. Just more elevated, more art film than slasher film.
Well, as I've said, I think Hellraiser has a foot in both camps. we were avid consumers of art house movies. It was, you know, as well as mainstream movies. And all of these things go into the mix with Clive. Plus he loves musicals, you know. So, I don't know why I said that there were no musical numbers in Hellraiser. So it would have been good. Hellraiser the musical, folks. Let's do it. On ice. I can't skate. How did we get here?
Is it the grandfather of
Yeah.
the smarter slasher movies?
Well, it would be
Like you
nice
said,
to
the
think so.
Gothic.
Hereditary, I thought, was going to be the movie that was going to completely flip me and make me go, oh my God, I have seen the first genuinely brilliant horror. Well, The Witch had already done that for me to some extent. Brilliant movie. And I would say the first hour of Hereditary I thought was brilliant. And I loved that it was a matrilineal story. It was the girl and her mother and the grandmother, and it was about grief. And I thought that was wonderful. I loved the way the mother was creating the events of in reality in miniatures, and the sequence from, and I'll do this without any spoilers, but you'll know what I'm talking about. The sequence from the point at which he arrives at the party with his young sister, who he doesn't want to be there, and tells her to go and amuse herself, to him waking up the following morning to the sound of his mother screaming hysterically, is one of the most brilliant sequences I've seen in a very, very long time. It's Hitchcockianly good, and I realized at the end of it, I barely breathed during the whole of that. And the last half hour let me down so badly. I didn't understand. You know, the miniatures went away, Gabriel Byrne started bursting into flames all over the place, and I didn't know why. And the matrilineal, the matriarchal story disappeared completely, and it became a patriarchal movie about King Thingy, or whatever his name was, beginning with P. And it sort of turned into Rosemary's Baby a bit. Visually, it still looked great, but it just kind of let me down because I felt like it wasn't having the courage of its convictions. And Midsummer, I really, really didn't like. Sorry. So anyway, that's not relevant. It's not a thing I'd ever thought about, so I don't know.
I would say it's certainly one of, if not the, for sure.
It would make sense. I was not aware of this
Elevated.